Hello there. Down, welcome. Mark Allen Cook, your dinner. We're going to do something a little bit different today, but it's going to be super easy and very healthy. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a lot of vegan products, and uh, I'm not vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I am a complete omnivore. I eat. Well, I don't eat. I don't like liver. We'll ask our maybe liver. I don't think it is. Maybe in moderation if you like it a little bit. And this is in the last couple of weeks. I always not while I'm waiting for you guys to join me. You can make comments right now on Facebook. Uh, we're on Facebook Live. If you're watching us, we're going to do something kind of okay. We have a guest. We're going to put Meridan Zerner on. She is actually based in Texas, Dallas. It's okay. Can I say where you are, Meridan? Okay, we've got. Hold on, Meridan.
No problem.
And there you go. All right, back. Uh, we have Meridan Zerner. See if we can bring her name up there for you. Uh, we're doing all kinds of things here on dinner. We're going to be making a smoothie today, which, Meridan, first of all, welcome to the show. You're diet, and you have more after your than almost anybody I've ever met. Is that because you're a perennial student?
And again, you're cutting out a little bit, but I think you were saying something about my 30 years of experience and all kinds of initials behind my name. I've been in health and wellness for a long time, absolutely passionate about taking care of today's human being and how do we do that with the foods that we choose to eat and creative ways to get in these healthier foods and to bolster the immune system, and with that line of defense and some good sleep and maybe a little bit of movement, we can really radically improve our health.
And we're going to be doing very healthy and smooth in just a couple of moments. I just made it what I funny that I eat every. Can I eat everything? I mean, everything. Bread, sugar, ice cream, all kinds of stuff. But in moderation, is that okay?
Honestly, the science, and as a registered and licensed dietitian, we are about the science. The evidence really is there for a certain amount of moderation. And really to appreciate that there's a complexity to the human body. There are 40,000 phytochemicals and elements that are finding in food. And our multivitamin may only cover 22 of those. And how are we going to get the rest? Well, it's going to be through this variety of foods. And so even something like a little bit of cholesterol, we need some. And it's just to what degree and how do we create that balance? And so I really even find that the emotional experience, the satisfaction, the flavor component that we experience when we're able to enjoy some French fries from time to time or have some bread from time to time. We can choose higher quality foods, but there's absolutely room for some of those delicious options, and know that that provides a certain amount and contributes a certain amount to our variety.
Got it. So I'll be specific about the liver. Absolutely. My father like hamburger, broiled, eat it 40 seconds inside. It even as a kid, it was not something I could eat.
And were you saying broccoli was something you could not eat?
Well, no, not broccoli, liver, calf.
Liver. Oh my gosh. It's interesting that you just said that. I kid you not, about 30 minutes ago, I'm at the family table here, which by the way, huge fan of the family meal when you can do it, right? A lot of conversation happens there, a lot of dietary behavioral habits develop there. And I know everybody's busy, but just a plug for when you all can sit down and have a family meal, people of all ages, a lot gets done there in terms of healthy habits. We were just talking about liver. My parents were raised on it. I did not like it. It's a very intense flavor. It's very particular. And I think it speaks to everybody has this amazingly unique palate. And some of us are super tasters. My guess is, Mark, that you are a super taster and you're going to experience these more bitter flavors more intensely.
And I do like chocolate, and maybe that's that thing. I don't know. Rice, mustard, anyway. Pickles aside. Well, maybe we're going to health right now. We should be that Meridan Maine. What's in
So Portland, Cape Elizabeth, right outside of Portland. So it's southern coastal, and it's like 60 degrees here. And I've been enjoying the ocean, some fresh lobster, of course, wild Maine blueberries, which are huge powerhouse superfoods. I'm a big fan of the superfoods, whether they're deep dark green, dark blue, bright red. That's where we find the nutrient oomph.
well? I do take a gift, so five lobster along with blueberry, I would check. All right, hey, the superhero, um, superhero movie, and I adjusted this just a little bit. Oh, look at you! You got it terrific. So
I was ready.
yeah, you are. So our here, take the top off. Carol, move very. Thank you. Uh, Mary, Mary, you're on camera right now. You see, so direct. I'm going to start some uh, unsweetened almond.
Yeah, and it's about a cup. Of course, you can double the recipe if your wife is there and you want to make a little something for her. That always goes over very well. You know, when you're thinking about others, you could make double the recipe, but it's about a cup. I use the unsweetened because I think it's important to try to reduce sugars when you can. And so this is a great base. It's going to be higher in calcium and vitamin D.
And there's my half banana, but it's so
Yes,
okay. I like a lot in my smoothie. So I'm going to put a
I do too.
do you?
Yeah, I think it gives it great texture, and I love with all of these recipes, you can tailor them to your taste preferences. So if you want something that's got a little bit more creamy texture, you can double the banana. That also brings up the potassium in this particular superhero smoothie. And again, the key to this fabulous smoothie from a dietitian's heart is that down the line here, you're going to get in some greens powder. So there's this going to be this cool synergy of I've got this delicious chocolate shake, but I also got in a vegetable credit.
One of the come back to me for a second. One of the things that you very one of the things that I'm not fond of. Why don't you share? Thank you. One of the things that I don't particularly care for flax, maybe this taste flax and flaxseed oil has appreciated because of the omega 3s. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, there's some good omegas in there and phenomenal soluble fiber. But flaxseed isn't the only tool to get soluble fiber. So if somebody said, flaxseed's not my favorite, then I'm going to look at, hey, can we add in some oat bran? Could we add in some wheat germ? The goal there is to just provide some additional, again, nutrients, some amazing soluble fiber that can help feed your microbiome, this wonderfully complex system in your intestines that helps with energy and immune defense and even mood. So you can get that fiber from multiple sources. So you do you choose. If you don't want to put the flaxseed in, that is okay.
And that's what we talk about here a lot on Mark Allen Cooks Dinner. That if I recipe or you have a recipe, you can do whatever you want. You can adjust it. That's what I when I create. I create adjust it to my, and I think everybody can do that. So I'm going to put in just a little bit of scoop. Yeah, that's the perfect time. And when I cook, go back to you're probably better than I am, Meridan. That is that I don't measure. I just do it. Does that make sense to you?
I think the longer we've cooked, the more we have a feel for, how much of this or how much of that creates the taste we want. And I don't mind that it's a little different every time. In fact, I bought some measuring spoons, and literally on the spoon itself, it said, "This is a smidge," and this next spoon was just a tad, right? It was a smidgen. And so, I just think that making cooking a little bit more fun and a little less complex, you get surprised. You get some neat results. They're all delicious. So I kind of do what you do, which is I eyeball it a little bit.
So I'm going to put in some chocolate, sweetened organic chocolate. How much is that? One.
It's about, and again, you can decide, but officially like 1 tablespoon. And what you've just added is some amazing flavor. You've added cocoa flavanols, which we know can help with heart health and in lowering blood pressure. And that's why you always see the little bit of dark chocolate squares on the top of the Mediterranean pyramid.
I'm now going to put in a scoop of the official European recipe calls chocolate powder, and two couldn't find protein powder. I don't know why. And I found it again. I don't know if you read that or not. The protein made simple, and I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons.
And the advantage here, of course, is that when we add a little bit of protein into any kind of a healthy carb-rich shake, we add a little bit of blood sugar stability. Of course, we all need a certain amount of amino acids and protein throughout the day to help hang on to muscle mass and to do all the repair work. And, for a lot of Americans, if they're only eating a little bit of protein at lunch and some at dinner, they're probably not getting enough, especially when you think about, hey, this could actually help sustain you. This may even support or assist in satiety, which can then help with weight loss.
Wow. Well, and now we're going to put in some Cairo. I told you that Meridan on late health. Karen, get the shot. Uh, there. There. Uh, Cairo. And I have been talking about coyote. Come on, guys, you're based in Canada. You're a hop, skip, and jump away. Um, and uh, I know that you're doing things with coyote. I have talked about this for over 40 years. I spent at least 25 years talking with him by the Gypsy Food, your official spokesperson. Really, he traveled all over Southern California, probably more, talking about coyote. Their product. All right. How much the green?
So I would encourage you to include maybe 2 teaspoons of the Kyo-Green's powdered drink mix, their energy drink mix, which is just a lovely blend of barley and wheatgrass. And in addition, you've got some kelp, some chlorella. So think about those as greens from the sea, and really feel good about the fact that you just added in some powerhouse phytochemical nutrients that are therapeutic that we don't often get in our day-to-day diet. I know some people may get some, lettuce on their burger from time to time, and they may get a little side of baby carrots, but these are going to be some powerhouse greens. And this is just a really easy way to add them in.
And it's something that you and I talked about. You were on Late Night Health the other day, and that will every week radio station and will be on latenighthealth.com, our sister program. I just added ice, but I don't like broccoli. Carol loves broccoli, right, Carol? Love strong. Love.
She loves it.
She like I I got very stuff. So almost
I always feel like each each leafy green or each vegetable or fruit kind of deserves its own time in the spotlight because they're each going to give you something that the other perhaps cannot. But then, yeah, you might not like broccoli. So part of my role as a health professional, as a dietitian, is to look at other creative ways to get additional greens in to really, support your health. And I've got folks here, I've got my glass of water and I've got my Kyo-Greens powder that's really, really easy to mix. I can honestly tell you, I enjoy the taste of the greens powder. It's a bit like green tea. And I have folks that will just drink this down and be hydrated and get their greens in this way. But I have kids sometimes who maybe this isn't their favorite thing, or I have people like you who might say, hey, broccoli or kale or whatnot, that's not my thing, but you're going to get to it. You may instead be able to enjoy that chocolate smoothie that's got the same greens powder in it. And that's all I really care about is how do we get this in you creatively? We could shred your broccoli and put it in a spaghetti sauce. That's kind of the stealth health concept that I like to tap into.
Now, I put some ice in there also. We're putting in our vitamin rather than regular blender, but you can do this in a blender when you add the ice, right?
Well, I love the ice. I love the hydration. I love that kind of slushy texture that it's going to give you. And the Vitamix rocks. Any blender will work well here, but I love that you've got a Vitamix.
All right, here we go. Make sure that it's down. I'm going to turn it on. Here we go. Crank it up. And here we go. Now, this can be a real replacement, right? Can it? Mary,
Say that again, sir.
could a replace?
And I so apologize that cut out a bit.
Okay.
You were asking about a replacement?
Yes. Come back to us, please. Thank you. Uh, could this be a meal replacement?
Oh, could that be a meal replacement? Yes. Yes, when we think about, hey, what are we trying to get in a meal? We would be trying to get in a couple of key nutrients, right? We might be trying to get in the vitamin K that you get from the greens. We would like to get a little protein. You got that in the protein powder. Hey, this is hydrating. You added some potassium from the banana. You've got fiber in there. You've got calcium and D. So could this be a meal replacement? Sure. I think some folks appreciate having a solid and a liquid. So occasionally I'll say, if you just don't feel full with a liquid, maybe you have a handful of almonds with this, or maybe, you choose to have some carrots and hummus alongside and just allow for that crunch and that greater sense of fullness. But as far as nutrients, this would do the job.
Well, skull, clinky.
It's my kind of toast.
Yes. Here we go. Wow, that's good. And I have to be honest, I was afraid.
That's okay. That's why we try new things together.
Yeah, no, we'll do this again. We'll come up with something else.
Hey, and for kids and families, if I had any of this left over, I'm going to freeze it into a popsicle, right? I may, yeah. I mean, there's lots of other ways to creatively take any leftovers and efforts that we might have, which not only saves money, but it ensures that you've got another shot of Kyo greens and bananas and almond milk in another fashion.
This is I always say I like cooking. Okay. I like my own smoothie. This is really, really good. If you're interested, where can I find out more about you and about Kyle?
So anything you would like to know about me, my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all at Meridan Zerner. Kyo-Green.com has a lot of these really cool recipes, and where I've got a lot of other cool stealth health ideas, just creative ways to get in additional greens. And maybe they come in a dessert form, believe it or not, or maybe they just easy ways to mix some greens into a salad dressing that your kids might enjoy or your family might enjoy. So again, the work in a way has been done for you, even though I love that you love experimenting in the kitchen. If you just went to that kyo-green.com, you're going to get some of these quick and easy ideas.
I just made a romesco last week. You know what, right?
I do.
It occurred to make it even healthier. A scoop of Cairo would have wouldn't have come
I think those flavors would go really nicely together.
nice in there. Oh my! And they healthy. Well, we are. Will you come back time? Go.
I would love to come back. That would be amazing. And, we can tackle 3 or 4 more creative ideas. And, little by little, recipe by recipe, we'll change the health of the world.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people off the couch and in the kitchen. If you're at home, your significant other, you're divorced, if you're single and you're getting to the kitchen, something that, well, that's what we're about here at Mark Coach. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Rachel. And have a good one.
Here's to your health.
Here's and Mary will